Yeah, you did. Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jeremy, how would you describe your summary of the meeting with Byron and Mitch?
I thought they both pretty much said the same thing. That short version is had a rough start in terms of adjusting to the new system and figuring out what exactly Coach Scott wants from me in terms and as it relates to all the new players and then knew everything that was going on. And then as time went on, it just felt like there was good progression. There was improvement throughout the course of the year and all the way up until the end. I think that was the 30-second summary that they gave me, and I would say it's accurate.
What did you think allowed you to, I guess especially after the All-Star break, it seemed like you started to really become comfortable offensively especially?
Yeah, it's funny. Mitch asked me the same question. I think for me, from a personal standpoint, just getting away helped. When you're in it and you're trying to figure everything out and you're trying so hard every day, sometimes the best thing to do is actually just not to try and just to get away for a little bit. That was helpful for me. I think from a team standpoint, we started changing things up just with injuries and guys going down. We started speeding up the game, opening up the floor, moving Ryan to the stretch four, running a lot more random pick and rolls and drags and angles. And it's no surprise that's what I'm most comfortable in. That's what allows me to flourish. And so I thought that as we evolved into that as an offense, in terms of the offensive end of things, and again, more injuries and extended playing time and things like that. I think it all just kind of went in together, and I was able to just kind of get more of a rhythm, get more comfortable with the system and what's going on. And I think that's, it was just a lot of things happening at once.
Hey, Jeremy, what are your priorities for free agency?
My priorities for free agency. I haven't even spoken with my agents about it, so let me think. I would say the biggest thing for me for free agency is to make a good decision in terms of where I want to be and where I think would fit well for me. I think that's about it, I guess. Nothing really beyond that. I'm not too worried about the years, or I don't have any goal on the years or a number, what I'm getting paid or anything like that. I think for me, just I want to find a good place, and hopefully the best place for that I could fit in at.
So it's more of just your role and how you feel like you fit into whatever.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's important for me. I think I'm 26 right now, and by the time next season starts, I'll be 27, kind of going into the physical prime of a athlete, and I just feel like I want to be able to find a good fit for me, and then do the best I can in wherever that is. And I know everyone's going to ask, or there's going to be questions, and I've definitely not ruled out here in terms of what's going on. And I was talking to the coach and Mitch, and they obviously have a lot of things going on with free agency, the draft, and all that. But I thought that we made a lot of progress in terms of them learning about who I am as a player and as a person, and me learning about who they are and what they want and what they expect on the court. And so I thought, similar to me, or like my evaluation of my own performance on the court this year, I feel like they learned a lot about me, and we were able to kind of grow and improve in terms of everything that's going on here. Yeah.
Do you feel like the natural progression that you guys made together, both sides made, would be enough to kind of make a good situation for you in the future? Would some things need to change in terms of the offense and what Byron was asking you?
I mean, I think it's never going to be perfect, and I think right now, I'm definitely encouraged and very optimistic in terms of the progress that was made towards, from, if you talk to me in December or January, a very different opinion than what I do now in April. I do think there's a lot of things done, and so it's more about the progression or where we're headed versus like, walking in and having everything be perfect or exactly the way I want it to be or catered totally towards me. That's not what it's about. So yeah, I do think we're headed in the right direction, and that's all I can ask for.
What was December, January like for you?
It was tough, just different roles, and it's one thing I went through, losing my starting position in Houston, but we were a playoff team and we were doing well, and here we were at the bottom of the standings and setting all types of records in the wrong way. And I'm an athlete, I'm a competitor, and I care very, very much about my job, and it hurt. It was tough.
Jeremy, was there ever a point in the season when you felt like this just wasn't the place for you?
I get really scared to say absolutes, and so I don't think there was a time in the season where I know how fast things change in this league. There was a time when I thought I would never be a part of this league, and then when I did get into the league, there's times when I thought this league wasn't for me. So now, when I go through tough situations, it's more about trusting God and having that faith that everything. He has a perfect plan, and he can change things overnight. If anyone knows that, I know that. Things can change overnight. And so I never really, like I said, even now sitting here, I'm not ruling anything out. And I don't know where I'm going to be next year, but never say never. And I would definitely keep this open. It's not like this is, last resort.
What if you chance your knee's going to need a procedure or anything like that?
Is there what?
Any chance your knee will need a procedure?
Oh, no. Knee's good to go. In terms of, we're going through the process. I started running and cutting today. And then, hopefully tomorrow or the day after, I just want to, play a little one-on-one. And I'm pretty much there, able to play one-on-one. I think it feels great. We got all the swelling out. There's 100% range of motion, and there's no pain. So that's good.
What feedback did they give you, Mitch and Byron, as far as how they might see it?
Yeah, they were just talking about it was 2 separate meetings. So let's see. Coach Scott was kind of just talking about being able to put on different hats in terms of who I am. Just, my first instinct is to attack, and sometimes, facilitate a little more. And then, Mitch kind of talked about getting into pain and picking up your dribble, which is very true as well. And so I think that was kind of the feedback that I received, which, I would agree with.
How about just like free agency, as far as how they see you and their...
Oh, sorry. No, it's the same thing that I kind of said earlier. I was basically saying what they were saying too, because I know it's true. They have to go through the draft to see what they get, then the actual draft, or the lottery, then the draft, and then free agency. I think for me, that's kind of why I just haven't really thought or talked much about it. It's just like I know there's a lot of missing pieces that have to fall into place before I really know what everything's going to look like in regards to me.
It seemed like, at least at points during the year, a lot of the criticisms that Byron had of the toughness of the team, toughness of individual players, and things like that, some of that was aimed at you. Was that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that was aimed at me or not, but I think our respect for each other grew as the season went on. And he saw some of the stuff that I played through, and I probably, had no business playing through. And I think, toughness is not about how loud you verbally talk or whatever. I think toughness is showing up every day and doing your work. I think toughness is, sacrificing for the team and still giving your best effort, finding a way to get it done, and finding a way to be effective and to improve. And I thought those were things that I did throughout the course of the season. And like I said, his respect for me and my respect for him, has grown just steadily throughout the course of the season. How so? I mean, I just think it's evident by him, from his standpoint, whether it's, playing me more, giving me more minutes, or putting me back in the starting lineup, or running specific plays or trying to get me going, different things like that just shows that, he's growing in terms of how he sees me as a player. And then for me, understanding what he wants, figuring out, this is his style or this is what he expects from me or from a point guard, and doing what I need to do, the changes I need to make to go towards that. I think, his comments that he had said the other day about, his critique on me and my approach to that, I think, that shows, that we've come a long way from where we were before.
Is there,
With that in mind, do you want to come back?
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I think for me, again, it's there's so much that needs to happen. But yeah, like I said, that would be definitely an option for me that I would consider. I'm here. I love the city. I love the fans. I'm comfortable, and I would definitely consider that for sure if that's an option.
You may be the only guy in the league whose diehard fans can match Kobe's diehard fans when it comes to intensity. I'm sure you're aware of that. What is that like as a player to have that type of fervent fan?
It's I love it. I love it. You think for me, I've seen it. I've gone through it. I've seen a lot of fans come and go, and it's what can you do for me today? And if you can't do anything for me today, I'm on to the next thing. But my real fans, my true fans, they're with me till I die. And I know that, I love that, and I appreciate that. And, I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, they're the best. They might annoy other people, but hey, they're rooting for me. I'm not going to complain.
Is it hard though? Because so much of it is, I think they're protective of you, but they're also protective of sort of you as a concept, as a Chinese basketball player, as all these different things that you kind of represent.
Right.
As one person, there aren't a lot of other people for them to funnel some of that energy into. Is that a hard burden to carry?
So you're just saying I'm just kind of like,
No,
I'm just messing with you. They got no one else to root for, so they figure they should root for you. I'm messing with you. I think for me, I've let that go. I understand what my platform is. I understand who I need to be as a person, and everything I've always tried to be about is just authenticity and being genuine. Exactly what I say here is what I want to be able to execute when there are no cameras, and hopefully I'm able to impact other people and be a positive role model. But in terms of day to day, I don't think go into a game thinking I need to play well because there's a bunch of people watching and they're counting on me. I think for me, I go into games saying I got to play for God, and when I do that, I can, good or bad, I can go home and have peace.
Hey, Jeremy, it seems clear in your career that you're best when running screen roll and running some of those things like you'd mentioned that's worked. What's the balance in okay, if a coach wants you to do something a different way and it may not suit your skill set versus when you're looking at options? How do you balance all that? How did that work this season, and how does that work for you next season?
I mean, that's on me. That's my next challenge. That's what I want to take face on this summer. Is my name's been thrown around a lot, but I really haven't played that many games. I really haven't had that much experience in this league. My rookie year I didn't play. I've been through injuries and whatnot, but I'm still growing as a player, and sometimes people forget that. That I'm still relatively young, and a year and a half of no playing at all, taking off in a 5-year career. I've really only played 3.5 years, and there's just so much more to learn. This is my first year in a different system, and now I know. I've been through it. I've seen it. I've come off the bench. I've started. I've not played at all. I've played almost every minute of a game, and so I've had a wide array of experiences, and now I want to be able to make sure that I evolve my game to be someone who's not contingent on anything other than just me impacting the game. That's my goal, and it's an exciting challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
You had mentioned the critiques of Byron Scott, and he had told us that one of the things he loved about you is that you're able to take the criticism. Is that because you've gone through so much of that in your career?
I think that's just how I am. I'm the kid who would come home with an A-, and my mom would be like, "Why didn't you get an A?" And it's always been tough love with my parents, and I think that's just how I was raised, and I never ever doubted how much my parents loved me, but I knew it was very obvious when I knew that they knew I had more to give. And so I think being raised in that environment was helpful for me. And then I think, going through a lot of what I went through, just being really the only Asian in basketball growing up and everywhere I went and dealing with that and being overlooked many times, I think criticism and people doubting or people speculating doesn't bother me anymore, because I know as long as I stay on this path, it's a marathon journey. And there's a lot of people that I bypassed that I never thought I would. And so I think for me, it's just I've always seen it as a good opportunity. If someone's criticizing you, then you take it for what it's worth and you try to make as much out of it as possible.
Last one, guys. What do you take away from playing with Kobe this year and all the adjustments to that?
I think my biggest takeaway from my experience with Kobe is just the mental side of things. Early on in the season, he gave me a lot of advice about how to watch film, how to think through the game, how to approach a game. I remember there was one game where he was really struggling in the first half, and then at halftime he was just laying there like with a towel over his head, and I didn't know what was going on. It was kind of weird, to be honest. But in the second half, he just came out and just exploded. And later he texted me. He was like, during that time when I had my towel over my head, I was just thinking about, playing with, the mindset that he was talking about. And I won't share everything he said, but it was just seeing him do that, helped me. And now that, I feel like I've learned from him and seen, and I had a film session with him earlier about how he, like the stuff he looks at when he watches film. I think I'm going to take all of that with me. Whether I come back or not during the summer, I know I'm going to be able to take what he's done and how he approaches the game, and I'm going to be able to apply that to me specifically.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys for the whole season, so thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Rez, you around next month?
Thank you, Jeremy.